welcome each of you to Key West, and thank you very much for joining us here. We'll try to have a little fun with all this. Come on in, we've got lots of room. To begin the tour, I'd like you to meet the builder of this house, Mr. Asa Tift. The gentleman came to Key West as a marine architect and the master shipwright. While living here, he had the foresight to organize our reef wrecking and salvaging industry. That little project made him the wealthiest man in the South. He built his home in 1851, lived in it until his death in 1889. Ironically, our wealthy tycoon managed to die here alone and without a will, leaving his home in the outriest estate South Florida has ever had to clean up. The litigation over this home went on for decades. The place wound up being boarded up and set vacant until Ernest Hemingway bought it years later. Hemingway's first look at our Key West would be 1928. He was passing through on his way home from a trip over to the Bahamas. He had ordered a shiny new Ford to be delivered to him here in Key West to continue his journey into Arkansas. Typical of our little town, his new car was 7 weeks late. This gave him time to finish a novel he had been working on, the handwritten Farewell to Arms. While completing that, he fell in love with our island lifestyle, a situation that we today refer to as the Keys disease. About the only known cure for this ailment would be rub and return visits. Legend has it, he took very good care of them. His return visit would be 1931 with his second wife, Pauline. They bought his home out of Mr. Tift's estate for the back taxes, $8,000. They pulled the boards away from these windows and doors and refurbished the old home to just what we're looking at today. His lovely Pauline was in charge. Ladies, if I may, I'd like to pick on Pauline about that for a bit. When they took possession of this wonderful home, everywhere you see one of these electric lights, she found a ceiling fan. Entirely too much borrowing effects for our fashion-conscious Pauline. 25 degrees north of the equator, she removed every one of them, replacing them with these wonderful, heat-producing chandeliers that we guys have to live with all summer long. Believe me, folks, by the end of August, Pauline has been on my mind. Here we have Hemingway, the way the world wants to remember it. We would call that Papa. Key West would remember a man half that age. The boat was a very important part of his lifestyle. He named her Pilar. The gentleman sharing the picture on your far right was Pilar's full-time paid crew, probably the most loyal friend Ernest would ever know. Gregorio Fuentes, a Cuban fisherman who had grown up in these waters. His local knowledge of them was phenomenal. He kept Ernest in his championship-sized blue bonnet the entire 20-odd years they were able to fish together here in our subtropics. We firmly believe that Hemingway penned the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Old Man and the Sea, around his knowledge of that character. We got word from Cuba here about 10 years ago now that Fuentes is no longer around. It has been said that that old salt would begin and end every day of his adult life with seafood chowder, a big tumbler of dark rum, and a good Cuban cigar. As you can well imagine, folks, 104 years of that abuse finally took its toll. I never introduced that old sea dog with that little salute of my own. He happens to be my local hero. Let's go meet the Hemingway wife.